Today on the Travel Magazine, join us as we visit the quaint Bavarian town of Berghausen, Germany. But first, to Banff, Alberta, Canada. Situated amongst the snow-capped peaks of the Canadian Rockies, the Banff Springs Hotel stands as a world-renowned symbol of Canadian hospitality. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer and welcome to this edition of the Travel Magazine. A breathtaking one-hour drive from Calgary brings you to the charming town of Banff, where with skis waxed, sleigh bells ringing and fingers tingling, you'll experience a touch of heaven on earth.
The original Banff Springs Hotel was built in 1888 on exactly the same spot that it stands today, overlooking the Bow Valley. And the first day it was built and opened, people have called it the Castle of the Rockies. Banff is a very charming little town. There's all sorts of neat little kiosks and nooks and crannies, and at Christmas time everybody puts their lights out. And because it's such a residential community, it's like being in any town with lots of lights on the houses and people put nativity scenes on the front lawn. It's a very special place.
Of Christmas are about to burst forth in all their resplendent illumination. Those of you who wish to observe the magic may now follow the Yuletide procession down to yonder tree.
They put on these beautiful costumes and they march outside singing "Oh Christmas Tree" with torches, and it's just so magical, and it's a wonderful experience.
Oh Christmas tree, how beautiful and bright. The sight of thee at Christmas tide spreads hope and gladness far and wide. Oh Christmas tree, how beautiful and bright.
One missing.
Okay. You want to clip up Murphy there? This has got a ring on his collar right here. Put it in there. We're ready. I just got to put our lead dog in here, and I'm going to show you how to put a harness on him, and we'll put him in, then we're ready to go. Put it over his head. His head goes in like that. You pull it down, nice and smooth. And pull his foot up. Gently pull his foot up. You don't want to hurt the dog if you twist his foot or anything, so you just pull it up and just pop it through like that. And the same on the other side. You just naturally just pop his foot right through. And there it fits.
We will be back with more of the Travel Magazine just after this. Stay with us.
If you want to get back to nature, hurtling through the snow behind a team of huskies is the only way to travel.
Now, this is a real romantic trip.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Good boy. Good boy. Pull hard.
I think this is wonderful.
Beautiful, eh?
Yeah.
Their training starts even almost right at birth. The more handling you do with these dogs, the better, the more manageable they are later on. One of the biggest enemies to these dogs is heat, not cold. If they get really warm weather, their heavy hair coats and stuff they'll overheat and they can't do the work. Good boy, Devo. Pull it hard. Working hard, Devo. Good boy. Mika, you think you've seen enough of this to try and do it yourself?
Yes.
Well, we'll kind of bring him to a stop here and get you out, and we're going to let you drive the team.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. You going to turn us loose? You're going to have to yell to Devo, hike
Yeah.
as loud as you can.
Devo, hike.
Boy,
Yeah.
you're doing great.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it, is there?
No, it's easy. Have you got a job for me?
I sure do. I can always use a good musher.
What could be more romantic than a ride through a winter wonderland in a horse-drawn sleigh along the Bow River?
The elk live in the area. They're here year-round. Whether or not we do get to drive through the herd like this depends more on Mother Nature. In the springtime, when the cows have their young, they can be fairly aggressive, like any mother trying to protect their babies.
Do you ever have to feed them?
No, and inside a national park, you'd get in a lot of trouble if you ever did.
Is your brain frozen like mine?
No, but I will tell you, I found this an unforgettable experience. You know, it is magic here.
Been doing this for about 18 years here with the company, so it's a good horses like this. Once you get a horse that's working really well for you, they're a lot of fun to drive.
People come from all over the world to Banff, but not everybody skis. So what else is available for them?
Well, you know, you could come here in the wintertime and never put skis on and have a wonderful holiday. There's dog sledding, there's sleigh rides, there's cross-country tours. You can go on a general drive of the area. There's skating, tobogganing, natural hot pools, so there's lots of things you can do. We're lucky to have three great ski areas. We have Mystic Ridge in Norquay, which overlooks the town of Banff. We have Sunshine Village, which is just a little west of here. And we have Lake Louise ski areas. And they're all accessible with one lift ticket, so you have a great choice of skiing.
It's the conditions with which ski dreams are made. Clean, dry Canadian powder.
Sunshine Village is a very special place. We have the best snow conditions in the region, if not in Canada. We get over 30 feet of natural snow a year. I tell you, that's what makes this place great. It's soft, natural snow. You can carve in it, and we always have it from November to May. You know what makes Sunshine really unique besides the snow is the fact that we have the only ski-in, ski-out hotel here in the Canadian Rockies, the Sunshine Inn.
With state-of-the-art on-hill facilities, including first-rate ski schools that cater to all skiers, from never-evers to seasoned experts. In a country where castles could be considered national treasures, Berghausen can claim to have the longest castle in Europe. This historic Bavarian town on the Austrian-German border was nicknamed by Napoleon Bonaparte the town under the ground when he crossed the Salzach River in 1809.
Berghausen is not well known in the world, also not in Germany.
No.
It's a lovely little place on the Austrian border between Salzburg and Passau, and people have to discover Berghausen. Yeah? And we have a very nice castle, the longest castle in Europe.
The first part of the castle, being built in wood, was built in 600.
Really?
After Christ's birth, yes. And then it was progressively added to the very end, so you have the longest castle here in Europe with 1,030 meters.
1,030 meters.
Isn't it impressive?
Oh, look at that. Built in 1523, mate. A bridge that originally was constructed between the two older parts of the building, and then it looks like they made an apartment out of it afterwards. See the mural over there?
Now look at that, Jack. Isn't that something? This is a beautiful painting.
It must be very, very old. I'm sure they'll restore it one of these days, mate. With a castle that is over a kilometer in length, and with its many buildings and additions, it gave Mika and myself a lot to explore.
The old town of Berghausen is mostly the marketplace where the modern life is still going on. In the summertime, all the bicyclist people were coming the way from Salzburg and going the way nearly to Budapest, near the Danube and in the Salzach River. It is nice to sit and hang out in the outdoor gardens just under the castle, which is illuminated in the night.
A unique way to tour the Salzach River is by saltboat.
It's a flat-bottomed boat where there's, well, kind of the boats which ship the salt down the River Salzach, and they use it now for pleasure cruises. You go through this untouched nature. It's a really nice trip of about 2 hours.
The salt comes from Austria, from Hallein. It's about 60 kilometers by special ships to Berghausen. And there was a privilege of the king. The salt must be loaded out in Berghausen. And you can demand a tax for it. And this was the rich, the wealth of the people here. And from Berghausen, it was loaded on cars and transported cars and transported all over the world. From here to Czechoslovakia and Austria, but on cars, not on ships.
Oh. So do you still demand a tax as Burgermeister?
Now?
Yes.
Not from the salt.
Not from the salt.
From the industry.
From the industry. It's an incredibly well-preserved town. And you can drive in there and really, spend a couple of days and really, in part, relive the past, especially in the castle. And I think this was an excellent choice to do a story on this because, it's mainly the local people from Germany and Austria that come here. That's why a lot of the literature is not even in English. So I think for people from around the world, it's a unique experience to come here.
Yeah, even, the people on the boat, they don't speak English.
No.
Das war nur der Salzach und so die Bettenfahrten an sich. Der Salzach ist ein relativ kurzer Gebirgsfluss, entspringt die Kitzbüheler Alpen, Salzach, Geier,
This is old, eh?
Yeah, it certainly is. So when is the best time of the year to visit here?
I think any time of the year would be good. In summer you have the beer garden.
So Jake, here we are sitting in a little town of Ach on the Austrian side.
You know what is going through my mind? Only a month ago, we were in the midst of the bush in Botswana, amongst the lions and the elephants, and here we are.
Sitting in the city of Ach. And
looking at Berghausen, Germany.
You know, it was only about 160 years ago that Napoleon came up to the top of this castle, and when he looked down and he says, this little town that we are now facing, there is where I want to stay. And after 4 days, they cleaned the place totally out, food and everything. And he says this was one of his wonderful stays, only 160 years ago.
So where did you hear that?
Well, you know, this is just from memory.
This building is right there. That's right. Well, that's it for this edition of the Travel Magazine. From Berghausen in Germany on the Austrian border, I'm Jake de Boer.
And I am Mieke de Boer. Auf Wiedersehen.